Right, welcome back. Let's continue as South Africa commemorates 3 decades of democracy. A new generation of artists is emerging to reflect on the complex social and political landscape of the nation. All young artists like Nqobile Mkari, Lutfiyah Haffejee, Shandré, Lummis and Jabulile Msane are at the forefront of a transformative movement, using their creative expressions to grapple with the intricacies of a country still navigating the aftershocks of this turbulent history. Nqobile Mkari uses her art to interrogate the intersections of identity, culture and freedom. Jabulile plays a key role in a play in sunny South Africa, really portraying a corrupt government official. So this morning, visual artist Nqobile Mkari and storyteller Jabulile joins us to chat a little bit further about the offering. Good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time on the SABC at this hour.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for taking on that baton that obviously has been handed on over to you 30 years into our democracy. Perhaps we could start with that. What does democracy mean for you?
Democracy for me means being free, right? It means being able to move forward, being able to use my art as a way to raise awareness and activism. And so for me, it's being able to just have freedom of speech, but using it wisely, and also just being as truthful to myself and having access to simple things such as service delivery.
Thank you for that. What about you?
For me, it's about equality, having equal opportunities, because I think we're still in a space where there's still that very evident like hierarchy, where some people have more access to certain things, and it's like for people like us who have certain privileges, it's like, how do you utilize them like effectively in a way that also empowers others and not perpetuate exclusion?
Yeah, I mean, I am because you are, right? That's the essence of Ubuntu and what we stand for. So when you tackle the status quo and the social political constructs, so how does that come through in your art?
So as an artist, you must always have a bag of tricks, right?
Yes.
And it includes research and observing your surroundings.
Yes.
And so for me, I always go into that bag, take from it, and also my own personal experiences. And growing up, I've always suffered. I've always experienced some sort of prejudice because of where I grew up. And also service delivery has played a major role into how I react to things and how they've affected me. And so service delivery really affected us, especially when we were starting to rehearse for sunny South Africa. We had load shedding, and I am scared of the darkness. So you can imagine coming back from rehearsals at like 11 p.m. There's no electricity. I can't make food. It was really terrible. And so I was able to take from those experiences, my own lived experiences, and pour them into the play to contribute and to represent the masses accurately, because we don't want to misrepresent anyone.
No, absolutely.
So,
I mean, Sunny, a play on the lack of light there as well, literally and figuratively. But Nqobile, what about you? Your art, your experiences, how does it come through when you tackle the status quo?
Yeah, for me, this year, I don't know, I felt very nostalgic. I was like, I feel like going back and talking about my high school experience. Because I'm from Soweto, and I was privileged to go to a German school, a multiracial school. And I was like caught in a very weird liminal space where it's like, when I go back to the community, I'm viewed as a coconut. It's like now I'm addressed differently. And when I'm in the school, I still felt that sense of like inferiority because of like my socioeconomic background and my race, It's like, how do I now grapple with that? So I use collaging as a way of like talking about that, how I felt like I had to perform my identity, like compromise certain parts of myself so that I could fit into different spaces. So yeah, like it's crazy because it's like I can understand why I was viewed as privileged, but at the same time it's like I was also struggling to kind of like sustain that very pedestal that people all of a sudden put me in, you know. So yeah.
And I mean, when you fall off the pedestal, they're the ones who get disappointed. You didn't even put yourself there, right? And so navigating these complex issues, these nuanced, layered issues, 30 years into our own democracy, what is the role of collaboration, particularly as artists, right? So if this is going to be a mirror of sorts for us to reflect, to unlearn, learn and relearn again, what do you think that can do to foster social cohesion, nation building, unity, but also just accountability, transparency?
Because I found like even with my work in the beginning, because I like went back to the school and I started a workshop where I was like, I want to talk about the issue of belonging, like with some of the kids that are there today, you know. And I found that at first I had the assumption that the issue of exclusion is only experienced by Black people, right? Which obviously mostly, that's why even with my work I talk about these intersections, but at the same time it's like we can't deny other people of the same feelings just because we assume they're privileged. Like white people also experience these to some degree, and they're also humans. And if we exclude people from feeling the same things, it kind of perpetuates those binaries. It kind of re-fosters that type of, I
division.
think, yes, because I think the youth, we kind of need to rewrite the script. I don't know.
We do, because most of the time in my work, I normally focus on diversity meets empathy, right? And so I try to include all these shared history that we have into one and to unite us as a nation, because I mean, we must all learn how to coexist with each other. No one's going anywhere. And also 30 years of democracy. I mean, South Africa has always been a democratic country. It's just that other races and other people of color were not included. And so now in my work, I try to create that inclusion and that we can all coexist with each other. We can all live with each other. Empathy, let's just have Ubuntu so that we can all just build this peaceful world that we want to coexist in and just work together.
What does that next 30 years look like? Just very quickly, one line for both of you.
Yo.
Yo, is that the answer? Yo?
I think fluidity is the word.
Okay.
Like, I feel like our youth is very fluid. We're very like,
okay. What about you, Jabulile?
Yo.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yo. That's where we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Young creatives, Nqobile Mkari and Jabulile Msane, really chatting to us this morning about being young and, of course, creative in a democratic country. The strides, but also the challenges that continue to pervade, perhaps also weighted from here. Let's leave that conversation there.